Hey guys, I know it's been a long time and trust me on this one, this is pretty crazy. Well, not crazy enough, this is my usual delving into my facts of life. I also got a new mic now. Thought I retired the old Snowball. I had the thing for like at least 5 years. Got this Hypo Duocast one. Honestly, I hope it will sound a lot better than my last one. I know I need to get a pop filter for this, but that's next on the get list of, improvements. But you know what makes me kind of sad now? The thing I had to come back home for after slaving 8 hours at my job at Walmart. I came back and just saw that Tribe 9's ending its service. For those who don't know, it's a gacha game. Dime a dozen, you've seen plenty of them, like Fire Emblem Heroes or Honkai games, the Honkai Star Rail games, Genshin Impact, so far and so forth. I guess that kind of hurts me because I actually like that. I would say that's one of the few gacha games in my life that didn't nickel and dime me for just logging in. That didn't just like, hey, spend $200 for this backpack right here, or take the ultimate shortcut part right here, get free things right there. I'm like, I don't want to just be nickel and dime every time I want to play this game. And I was loving it. Sure, the launch was rough, I would say, but out of anything, that was the first gacha game in a long time, genuinely a long time, where it just wasn't a gacha game first. It was a game first, and then it had the gacha aspects. And I was going through, Reddit, Twitter, even the Steam page for all the discussions talking about the end of service for it. And everyone keeps just talking bad about this game as if this game has personally shot their grandmas in their sleep. And I was just like, what's the problem? And I realized the general consensus is there's gacha games as a whole. Gacha games, they're bad, they're terrible. They don't last long. All they're gonna do is just rob you of your money, and then, this is a pump and dump, like a fucking crypto scam. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. This was actually a game with people who know what the hell they're doing. Hell, the person who's running this whole fucking developer studio is the main guy behind Danganronpa. That, cult classic flagship that Spike Chunsoft is pretty much wanting that man back for because he know what the hell he's doing. There's rumors going around saying the reason why Tribe 9 has died solely because of the 100-line Defense Academy. They're currently in debt from what I'm hearing. Could they put their heart and soul into that game, which of course I pre-ordered that game immediately. Anything by my legendary god Kazudaka Kodaka, I will personally buy products from. He can spin my fucking face and I'll be like, thank you, worth staying around before. But I guess I hope that wasn't the case. I hope that it was just that game did not put them in the hole more than they expected to be, because Tribe 9 was fun. It was different. It didn't force me at gunpoint to spend $1,000 for a character. It reminded me like how Wuthering Waves is. It was a game first, and then it wanted to sell you on the shit. And me being complete, I guess you could say, Korobot, who in a way is abandoned Genshin Impact. That's what it feels like. It was a game. It was something different. It was innovating. It wasn't just your another counter side. It wasn't just another RPG character. It wasn't just another open world. It wasn't just a dime a dozen Genshin Impact. It wasn't Honkai Star Rail. It wasn't just another gacha game that you're gonna probably spend a month on, quit, get bored of it, and leave it. It was something different. It was visually amazing. If anything, this was a different timeline. If Sauron went in time and moved the rock a little bit to the left, I could see it being honestly a full-fledged game than a gacha game. I will pay $70 for that. And I said $70 because I'm not going to believe in this stupid gaming market where it says, oh, you gotta pay $80-$90 for video games. Like, what the hell? I barely want to pay for a brand new game. I'm gonna wait 3 years to get this game on sale, and even then it'll probably still be $60, the price of what a game used to be. But that's a whole different topic. I feel conflicted. If we're getting lore heavy here, with Kuma as a whole, he's an advocate game player, mobile game player. He loves his mobile games. He has touched at least a lot of them in more ways than one. From back in Facebook gaming days where I played Dead Trigger, Deer Hunter, Dino Hunter, to now, back to middle school, when I had my phone, middle school to high school, I played Metal Slug Attack, Sword Online, Memory Defrag, Rising Steel, Guardian Tales. I went through like hundreds of like mobile games back then where microtransactions, or at least the gacha market, wasn't prominent. And I say the pain here still hits heavy. It still hits just as hard losing a game, having all that years you poured into it, your blood, sweat, and tears, your time, and it's just like boom, gone, as if it never existed. I say that hits heavier than anything. It makes you feel a certain way. I know I shouldn't be like weepy eye about it, I shouldn't be sad about it, but it still hurts. It's not every day that you could just see a game get the EOS thing. Like if Genshin Impact told me this very second that they were having an end of service date, I'll cry. I'll legit be sad. Just how I was when Metal Slug Attack died. I guess Metal Slug Attack was different from Genshin Impact, because Metal Slug Attack I actually gave a shit about it. Genshin, it was good during quarantine, but now it's just like an obligation. I do this because I check in on it. But back to Metal Slug Attack. I was sad when that game was dying, when it told me it had EOS. I remember it in full. Spent years, 8 long years. I was to me at that point, that game was more of a committed relationship than it was an actual game, of how much time I put into it, the stories, the characters, and to see it end on the start of the new year. And there was no offline mode, so whatever I had was just lost forever. That threw me into a downward spiral. I say I was almost suicidal how bad that was. I wanted to quit. It was like Ready Player One. When you die in that fucking movie and then you lose everything you had. I felt like one of the people who wanted to off themselves how bad it got me bad. But I was heavy in the gaming. Like, this was my passion. I never felt a feeling of losing something like that before. It's like playing a game and you're saved that it gets corrupted, and you gotta start that back from level 0. And I'm talking about one of them deep ass games you probably spent hours on. For me, I would say it'd be any of my Call of Duty games, any of my old PS1 games, like PS2 games, like let's say Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. I have probably put at least 30 playthroughs worth on that game on PS2. I had spent countless hours just running through the story, just playing it for the hell of it, maxing out my guns, just playing it with the rhino and just slaughtering through people. I can't imagine just one day it's just like boom, save data corrupted, start over from level 0, try again. I think the only happy ending I got with Metal Slug Attack, at least it came out as a new version of itself. I'm surprised that they even decided to do it. It hasn't had an update since last year, and I'm honestly, is to keep it not so grim, I don't have any real faith that game is going to get remotely any more updates. It's already filling a niche market as it is. But if they do fuck around and do that, I'll be happy. I know I completely derailed myself from Tribe 9 as a whole for the last couple of minutes. But to get back to the point, this circle round to it, I guess it just bothers me a lot that happened. It was a different game, a different experience. The combat was good. It made you think. It didn't make you just realize you have to put wallet into game and then boom, you get the most cracked out OP characters. It was actually a function to your characters that you had in your party. There were mechanics that actually made you attentive. This wasn't just some random ass, TikTok video of Family Guy clip, and then they have Subway Surfers running on the bottom to keep your dopamine fried brain alive like it's on fucking life support. This was actually a game, a for real game. And I would say it's a wasted potential, and it hurts my heart that it got wasted like this. I wish things have been different, but I know they're putting their time in the 100-line defenses. I know that game is done. I read number correctly. Didn't they hand that game off to their publisher too? That's how badly adept they are. Oh god. Oh, it's getting bad. But I'm holding out faith for them. They made a couple of good games, a few good animes, or a good anime. But I know that they're gonna do well. I have hope in them. Because Tribe 9, for being a little squirt for a 3-month running game, that just shows potential. To me, in my eyes, that just puts the bar higher for most gacha games like that. For games to actually give a shit about your game. Stop letting it be a damn money print. You know, I wish most AAA companies could learn that here in the Western markets, and the gacha aspects from, the overseas markets. But a lot of people can only wish for so much, and so much that you could wish for. I know I'm stretching it, but shit, you can only wish for so many things. But in my eyes, that just sets the limit up a little bit higher for expectations in the gacha market, and not gacha market overall, just mobile games. Yeah, it's still a mobile game, but you could put some soul into this. This game just showed that you could try to do it. You can do it. And with many gacha games coming out in this year, Silver Palace being one of them, which looks really interesting. It doesn't look like it belongs to be a gacha game. Like, I pay $40,000 to play the game for 5 minutes. And the aforementioned Wuthering Waves being another game that's going to be definitely a top contender. Everyone keeps calling it the Genjin killer, which it probably won't be, because Genjin makes so much damn money. Wuthering Waves is just barely starting, but it's catching up there eventually. I just hope that whoever goes forward with this game will be good. I mean, I know right now, as of this video, it'll still be out there, but plans for it, for like developing further like patches or new characters, will be canceled. We'll have this game until November, so we still have a good long ways before it's before its doors truly closes, which I do thank the studio behind it to actually give everyone time to just truly dig their fingers into this game, try it. I'm still on chapter 1 of it, because I'm just taking my time with it and letting it sit. I'm not trying to speed run it and just end it before it started. Because unlike other gacha games and other gacha players and content creators, I'm not trying to fiend for this game just so I could beat the end game content and then demand why there's no end game. Totally not a whale, totally not a boosted account, totally not no life in the game where you could be going outside and playing an actual real game. But that's just my point. But I guess to wrap it all up, if you haven't played Tribe 9 yet, I say personally you should give it a go before it's gone. Appreciate the finer things before they're gone, because you may never know. It could have been something that could have caught your interest. It could have been something that could have been really different. And for people who keep saying that it died because it was too generous, I would say that's just a crock of shit. This is one of the few gacha games that actually want you to enjoy playing it. The aforementioned, it was a game first before it decided to steal your money, before it vagrantly robbed you. It wanted to give you all its worth before its worth was gone. But other than that, I say give the game a try before it's gone for good, and appreciate it for all its worth and the beautiful art it carries. I've been your lovely host with the most, and until then, until I feel like it, at that point that's kind of what it is, I'll bid you adieu. Have a good night.